July show 1 o'clock. We'll call the Public Utilities Commission meeting to order. And we'll just let the record show that all three commissioners are in attendance. Welcome to Rick Schwartz. Nice to have you on the board. We look forward to this. And yeah, we appreciate you being willing to volunteer and be part of the team here. So, yeah.
I've done it for 3.5 years before, so it's exciting.
Good. Yeah, well, then,
Hi to everyone.
yeah. Then if you will, we'll have you take the oath of office. Repeat after me. I, your name,
Richard Schwartz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and affirm to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
of Commissioner of the Public Utility, Princeton Public Utilities,
of the Commissioner of Princeton Public Utilities
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Standing.
Thank you.
We have our agenda in front of us. Any questions, concerns? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda. Anybody have any modifications that they see?
The only question that I had is been through this for 3+ years. I didn't see, and I'm a stickler for doing things right, and Keith, I know you are too, and everyone, should be with holding this position and stuff. I've never seen in any organization that I've been in that the vice chair went to the chair with no formal voting or I don't know how that happened, I guess. So
Sure.
that's where I'm at.
Well, let's take a look at the agenda first, if we can approve that, and then I think
I'm
we'll
sorry.
tackle that with the
I
elected
would-
officers.
Looking at it, I would like to add the chairman for elections. That would be my addition.
Okay, we'll have that added to the agenda.
It would have to be seconded.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you made a motion?
I made the motion to add that.
Second, all in favor of making the modification of the agenda as stated?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, so then election of officer, we'll discuss the
Mr.
chair position.
I'm sorry,
And
Mr. Chair, if I-
yeah, go ahead.
Just a logistical point. So we are adding in a 4A for chair and renumbering vice chair for 4B. That's what you just approved, correct?
Or it would be yes.
I just want to make sure I have my notes correct.
So to the appointment of me from chair to vice chair, Keith and I discussed it, and we based that on our understanding of Robert's rules. So that there's no specific policy to that for the public utilities policy, but the policy states that Robert rules governs if there's nothing stated in the policy.
So I can elaborate.
Please.
So in our bylaws, under Article 5, meetings, Section 4, commission meetings are open to the public unless closed as authorized by Minnesota statutes. It shall be governed by Robert's Rules of Order, latest revised edition, for all situations to which they apply and which they are not inconsistent with these bylaws. The commission's adopted policies and any special rules of order with any order that the commission may adopt. Under Robert's Rules, Section 47, paragraph 28, in case of president's resignation, death, or removal, the vice president automatically becomes president for the remainder of the term, unless the bylaws expressly provide otherwise, for filling the vacancy in the office of the president, which is why we did what we did.
And I'm not against
Yeah,
the way it is. I'm not.
Mhm.
It's just if the chair has to or is gone, the vice president takes that position, understood. I just think any position or office should be voted on. Nobody was killed, nobody, it was an appointment that took place and the replacement of one and added another. I was just surprised that
Yeah, again, I just.
that happened almost, I'm gonna use something you're not gonna like, but almost like through the back door. You two meeting and saying that you'll be chair. There was no vote on it.
Mhm.
So nothing really changes. The assumption and the ruling is that if the chair is gone, the vice chair has that authority. It doesn't have to be sworn in as chair. It just should be done under business. That's the only thing I'm saying. I have no problem the way it is. It just would be official if we did it that way.
Alex, time?
It's a new subject to me. Let's just vote on it, be done, move on.
We can. I don't know if we need to vote based on our understanding.
The way you guys did it though, now we gotta vote as to make
Well,
the chair,
In,
Sure, well, we,
and which, fine. I make motion to nominate Nick for chair.
second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? All right.
Next time, we
There we go.
better.
If you're comfortable, then that's great. I'm glad that that.
Sorry, we're talking about sirens.
I'm glad we have that clear and I'm glad you feel better about that way. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we do need to appoint a vice chair. And I would like to nominate Tom just for continuity, he's been on the board for a little bit here and kind of is up to speed with everything as it currently is situated with the Public Utilities Commission. So I'd like to nominate Tom for vice chair. Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Just show up.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Tom, thank you for serving as vice chair. Public comment. Doesn't look like we have anybody here for public comment today.
No, we have received no letters, emails.
Terrific. Consent agenda. Rick, I assume you're familiar with consent agenda. Any concerns with the consent agenda? Anything need to be pulled for discussion?
I'm fine.
I'll take a motion then.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Reports. General Manager's report, please.
Yes, all the reports are in your packets. I mean, I can go through it if you want, but I guess I'm here to answer any questions that folks might have.
File the report.
And seeing, going, looks like everything's moving along.
You bet. Thank you, Keith.
Yep.
Any motion on that?
No,
Those are, no one's our information.
water power, any questions, concerns from our water and plant superintendents? Or water and plant superintendent, excuse me. Anything to add? Scott?
We did get that, truck body in today, so we'll continue working on that, truck conversion.
I saw you pull on a dump box.
Yeah.
Very good. Electric superintendent. Any questions for Jeremy on his report? Jeremy, anything to add?
No, Mr. Chair, I don't. Other than we're just getting a bunch of stuff in for the materials and stuff for the CAT plan. We had a pre-con meeting yesterday that went very well. I mean, same contractor and stuff, so it was pretty much the same as it was last year, so they're looking to start, show up in the third week of April or the fourth week for sure,
Where's all that stored?
all over. We got all the transformers and a bunch of the basements and stuff right across the road here. A lot of the wire, we've been storing it down at the wastewater treatment plant,
Okay,
down with Chris Klinghagen and his crew down there, so a little bit more of a open space out of the way. Secure, fenced off and stuff like that, so that's where they were last year, and they staged all their equipment and stuff down there, so it worked very well.
nice to have a nice relationship between public utilities and the city.
Yep,
Nick?
yep, absolutely.
All right. No further discussion on reports. We move on to the regular agenda. Financial report discussion.
Was there B, or C, something each term?
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Other reports. Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry for that, Rick. Other reports, the Simfa and EV charges. Anything to add there to those reports? Keith?
No, so I don't answer the question.
Okay.
I know I asked this before, but are we making any money on the EV chargers?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You answered my question. We won't waste any more time.
No, we are not. It's more of a demonstration project. Actually, I think the DC fast charger is offline
Yes.
right now.
It's turned off.
Yes.
One of the cords was damaged. And we have a work order request into ZEP,
Mhm.
who, that's their end of it. So they come and do all the maintenance on it, and so, you can't just have one side or the other working, it's an all or nothing deal, so unfortunately, it's turned off right now.
The only outstanding issue we have on an EV charger, it's actually on the agenda, is the rates that we have to update today. So I'll talk about it when we get to that point.
That is located by River Auto. Is that?
No,
It's going backwards.
Oh,
the DC fast charger is located Coburn's gas station,
Yeah.
out on the end there, up towards the back parking lot.
he said, I didn't realize that was ours. Okay.
Yeah, and then we have two level 2 chargers, one between Sherburne Bank and the Pizza Pub,
Okay.
and that city-owned parking lot there, and then there's one up at Neighbors Bar and Eatery there in their parking lot. They were kind enough to let us put one there, so
Okay.
we were looking for locations.
That is, there's the usage gone up at all?
No, actually it's dropped.
Does that have any rate to the EV cars dropping as far as production?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
fair enough.
Still feels like I see more and more electric vehicles around, so, I mean,
Yeah, the tendency is for most people to.
Most electric's gotta be.
yeah, I think so, but these people who buy me probably put in necessary,
Yeah, I mean,
electrical upgrade. I know I have a coworker that just did, and he put in.
to Commissioner Schwartz's point, I would expect that the DC fast charger would be heavily dependent upon people going up north on the weekend. And so you have people passing through. Usually, I think, again, anybody local would use their local outlet in their garage.
There's a report that GM is cutting way back on their EV production. So it's where it goes from there, I don't know.
Alrighty, we'll move forward to the regular agenda then, financial report discussion.
Okay, Commissioners, memo 2610 regarding the financial reports. With the implementation of our new software, our old financial reports are no longer available at all. So we're having to go through and develop some new financial reports. They'll be the same, but a little bit different. And then as we're doing that, we're working with Cassell to come up with some reports. But we're also going through our general ledger and going through our account numbers and kind of reassessing because now would be the time to make any changes that we would need to make. And we are moving forward, and hopefully, we're anticipating that by the end of April, that we would have something to present. Maybe still will need some tweaking on it but have a starting point to come up with. We also are looking at the potential reporting. We would provide the accounts payable report monthly and a statement of revenues and expenses, which was formerly the income statement. We would do that monthly. The balance sheet and cash reserves, a budget versus the actual updates. We were looking at doing those on a quarterly basis rather than on a monthly basis. And we're also looking at doing a cash flow statement, which would be a new report to you on a monthly basis, but that would have to be designed. There's nothing in the software that I know of at this point, but they will work with us to come up with a cash flow statement.
Have you done any report design yet in Cassell?
Not a lot because we're doing our going through the account numbers. First, we gotta get those in order because they're kind of mixed up.
For financial reporting, no. I think what we had talked about internally was updating the GL, not structure, but the meaning of some of the line items. And then once we have that complete, then we can go to Cassell, let them know these are the reports we would like, make them easy to read, easy to look at, and kind of go from there.
And they'll help with that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we've been communicating with one of their support individuals currently, and he literally just emailed today saying that he had some suggestions on how we lay those GL account numbers out, just some different ideas, which then would make the financial reporting flow a lot better. But then that also feeds into budgeting and other aspects of the software.
Have you looked at other utilities that is there something that you see that you like?
Yep, so there were two other utilities, other peers that were kind enough to send over their financial reports. And actually, I shouldn't say they were kind enough because it's all public information, right? So they were kind enough to publish that for us to look at.
They made it easy.
Yeah, absolutely. But between those two at this point, there are some different aspects that we like from both of them. We'd like to take little bits and pieces of everything to come up with something that would be user friendly here. So.
Yeah. Well, I applaud, you guys all looking into your GL accounts and modifying. This is the time to make any modifications. Because the year-to-year comparisons with the old software and the new software, they're gonna be difficult. So this is the year to try and, straighten out all those GL accounts and get them as dialed in as needed to get the reporting you want, the information you want, the numbers you want.
Right.
So, yeah, this is a great time to do that, so.
Because the year-to-date comparisons from last year to this year, they're not gonna be available this year.
Yeah.
Because we got the old and the new.
That's understandable, and this, like I said, that makes it, this is the perfect year to make all your GL account.
Correct.
So that'll be good. Good. I'm fine with this level of reporting. I would say, like I say, moving into next year, it'd be nice to make sure that there's always year-to-year comparisons on all these reports. I mean, I think that's a given, but yeah.
Mhm.
Again, this year is gonna be difficult, but.
Right, it is.
Commissioners, anything else on whether this level of reporting is going to be sufficient and appropriate?
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Mr. Butcher, you provided at the start of the year, the 2025 in review had some financials in it, didn't it? In terms of,
I do a fund balances report every January.
okay, so something to maybe compare and work off of what the new reports as they come in versus kind of just starting over and not having data to reflect to.
Well, I guess what I would suggest is when we have the reports and we provide them,
Mhm.
at least for the first year, maybe two, we provide just a copy of the report from the year prior. It just won't be on the same page,
Yeah.
but that way you will be able to do you know,
Mhm.
at least some things.
Mhm.
But the only thing I would caution on that is it'll give you the information you want on a grand scale,
Yeah.
what the net income is, things like that. Part of what we're talking about with the GL restructuring is actually redefining what a fund is, what a department is,
Mhm.
what the individual source or account codes are. So you're probably not gonna be able to say, okay, this line item here,
Right.
what is it here? They could be defined differently,
Mhm.
but in the aggregate, yeah,
Yeah.
everything you'll be able to look at and at least know the direction that you're.
Different classification.
There is going to be some of that, yeah. Yeah, the more we look into it, and being able to utilize the Cassell software the way it's designed, which actually is having impacts on being able to use ADP the way it's designed, which is basically having a modern accounting system using what industry practices are. It's forcing us to move a few things around.
Well, and all your GL accounts are all for this team's evaluation and monitoring. So, I mean, compressing some things and expanding some things are all just what makes sense and what needs to be evaluated. I'm comfortable with how you guys have done it in general, but, you guys dialing in specifics is good. So,
Yeah, the nice thing is Kathy and I did the work a couple of years ago to really come up with a cost allocation methodology because we have two different enterprise funds. And this is allowing us to, again, organize things to be more transparent. So we can look at revenues and expenses by whatever, what breakouts that we're working on. So I don't want to give you the last page of the mystery novel right now, but I'm pretty excited with the information that is going to be provided to the commission so that you're fully informed of where exactly the organization is.
terrific. I don't think you need a motion, but I think we're all on board with how you're proceeding. So thank you.
Thank you.
Especially your hard work. I know
Yeah.
this last year was a really fun, doing double entries and everything.
Yeah.
The
Fine
team up
tuning
there.
this year will be a lot easier than
Yeah.
the major work like Tom said we had to do the last year. Yeah. All right, no motion is needed there.
No, sir.
All right. Next on the agenda is the winter storm Fern update.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. This was really just kind of a follow-up to a conversation from last meeting. The winter storm Fern impacts on the electrical grid were significant. As a result of that, SIPA did implement the 2 cent per kilowatt hour ECA in February. Per policy and with commission approval, the utility absorbed that ECA, which resulted in our rate stabilization account decreasing by just over $101,000. And so the balance at the end of February in that account was just over 1.1 million. The civil board decided with staff recommendations to absorb the second ECA, which would have been for March, which would have been another 2 cents because their gross operating reserves were fully funded and felt that an absorption of that made sense to try to help protect the members. That is going to probably result in a slightly higher wholesale rate increase in 2028, probably by around 2%. Even with all that, even getting outside of winter storm Fern and looking at where LMPs and wholesale pricing is at, we're still seeing an ECA in the last month at 0.5 cent. Again, we're continuing to use rate stabilization funds so that we're insulating our customers from that volatility. But if that rate stabilization fund continues to decrease and doesn't recover here this year, it's probably going to have some rate impacts for the commission to consider. So at the last meeting, the commission decided to continue to follow current policy. The consensus at the time was let's wait and see if SIPA passes on this second round of the ECA, which they did not do. So we are continuing to follow the commission's direction on that. So unless the commission wants us to do something differently at this time, we're not looking for any action that is more interesting. PPO point.
That was 2 cents per kilowatt hour.
Yes. That was February.
Rick, any questions about winter storm corn and what went down and?
Well, I'm not sure what all went down, but, all the details, I did ask Keith for a lot of, information, which he sent me just to get back into the swing of things. I've gone through some of those things, I haven't simply had the time.
There's a lot there.
A lot of information to digest, but, I'm comfortable with what I'm hearing and that it's on top. So if there's something poignant that I should be aware of, then please point it out.
Yeah, no, I think that we're moving.
Jeremy, is there something specific that,
No, it's just that it is what it is. You know, I mean, it seems to happen every couple of years for sure, if not every year. It seems like we have one of, you know, some major event or something somewhere that we end up running, what was it, 4 or 5 days we ran? 6 off and on, or, you know, the first part it was pretty much 24/7. So it's,
Good thing you didn't have that one. Diesel's twice the price.
yeah, well, yeah, and I mean, that's just it. I mean, yeah, like Tom said, if it would have happened now, it might have been a different game. We might have been running a lot more then at $5 a gallon or whatever it is, but yeah.
I did see Scott, that everything's back, prepared and ready to go for the next run.
Yes.
And
You did manage to get the turbo on?
Yep, all on, units back full of water, just waiting on, just gonna schedule some runs here. We just had a few things going, but, just a test runs, but everything is ready to go.
great.
I know that was touchy there for a while, getting the whole thing.
Yeah, it fought us.
I'm stuck, but do we gotta replace some bolts?
We checked them and everything looked good.
Oh, huh?
Yep.
Sorry.
We took the opportunity to being that unit was drained down to investigate that and everything looks good, so.
Saying it's quiet at a hospital.
All right, well, no, action or, needed there, so, on to the next, the EV charging rates.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll take this one as well, memo 26-12 in your packet. I was notified on March 13th by SIMPA that there was a new legislative change back in 2025 that I was not aware of, in that EV operators are required to charge based on energy delivered, which was a new requirement. We had been billing per time, just to keep it really easy for our customers. So the DC fast charger, we were billing out at 56 cents per minute, and the L2 at 205 per hour. SIMPA worked with ZEF, reviewed pricing around the region, and they recommended that we switch the DC fast charger to 40 cents per kilowatt hour and the L2 to 25 cents per kilowatt hour. I should note that there are some SIMPA members who had already developed their own pricing structure different from SIMPA's, so not everybody's using that recommendation, but I would say the majority of the smaller members are. SIMPA is going to automatically update those chargers on or about April 1st unless they hear otherwise to stay legally compliant. In addition to the rate change, there's going to have to be new signage installed to communicate that to users. SIMPA is preparing that signage and will distribute it out to the members. In addition, just so the commission is aware of its options, it is some utilities are looking at doing an idling fee, since you can't do it based on time anymore, to make sure if somebody doesn't use it, plug it in and just use it as a parking spot for hours upon hours. Again, looking more in more of an urban setting where parking is a premium. So they are looking at doing an idling fee. SIMPA is not adding that at this time, but they can obviously do that for any community that so desires. Again, to keep everything official, because it is part of our fee schedule, staff is recommending a motion to update the fee schedule for the DC fast charger rate of 40 cents per kilowatt hour and the L2 rate of 25 cents per kilowatt hour, just so that the charges on those units match what our fee schedule says.
That's what you're suggesting, not what it was.
Correct, that's what we're suggesting.
And what was it, please?
56 cents per minute and $2.05 per hour. So again, we're using different units,
Yep.
that's,
Will equate to about the same charge, or is it gonna?
I don't know, they didn't give me the formula, they just.
The same, oh, so this is all controlled by them, yeah.
Yeah, and again, I go back to what they told me, which is they reviewed pricing around the region. So to me, they just did a market analysis. They didn't do like an engineering analysis, if I would call it. They didn't look at what our rates are or anything. They just wanted to make sure it was competitive with other charging stations in the area.
Does this increase, and you probably laugh again, but does this increase at all, help cover the loss? Or do we have?
I honestly don't know. Again, I don't know the methodology they used. I just know that this is their recommendation. I don't know that they took our 56 cents per minute, assumed a 50 kW load times 60 minutes, but I don't know.
It's just, it's a total different way of charging.
Correct.
I'm just looking at the net loss, of it, and if there's gonna be an increase, is there even an ability to at least get it to a point to break even? I don't know how you do that, or.
Yeah, and I don't think you're gonna get there.
That
Because
much spread.
yes,
Okay.
and this is why I think Simpson did it the way they did. If you wanted to do that, I think your rates would be so much higher than everybody else that everybody just drive around you.
Okay.
So, it's one of those things where if you increase the price too much, then also the demand goes away. And so I think they wanted to price it this way to at least try to keep the demand where the market is at. And then, as Jeremy says, it is what it is. That's the loss.
Well, and if everybody's thinking the same way, just, give everyone a break, say stop, so you use it, and so the level's here where maybe it should be here, but if EVs aren't falling, flying off the shelf, then that's not gonna be a possibility either to
Yeah,
adjust something like that.
Or we're not losing much then.
I mean,
If nobody uses it, then we're not using it.
yeah.
it's really interesting, just looking at this one schedule on November of 25, there was 2 kilowatts. And then to February, there's 614, so all winter months, but it's surprised that it goes from 2 to 614. There's no consistency on.
No, and it's because we're dealing with such a low volume.
Yeah.
You get one car in,
Yeah.
and then we get 5. I mean, that's a 500% increase, but it's.
Right.
Gosh, one more. Yeah.
You're looking for us.
I am looking for a motion, sorry.
I'd make that motion to accept the rate.
Second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. One last item on our agenda, and that is potentially rescheduling the June meeting from June 24th to June 17th. I'll assume the responsibility here. I'm out of town that week for work, and so if it's agreeable to work for everybody, I'd like to move it. If not, I could try and remote in, and it'd be a little bit difficult just because I would be I'm in meetings, so,
And Mr. Chair, to confirm the room is in.
okay.
I'm make a motion to change the meeting to the 17th.
That's fine with me in a second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, I have a question before we adjourn.
Yeah.
I don't remember the day when we consistently met when I was on the commission before. I'm just looking at April 1st. We're moving the 24th to the 17th. What's our standard meeting date?
Fourth Wednesday.
With Wednesday, okay.
Yeah, this one got moved because of the MWA legislative conference that I attended. So this is.
That's fine. I didn't know there was a change or not.
Yeah, that's.
And Keith gave me the dates as a refresher, and they probably passed that
Oh, yeah.
information on to Rick, just so he has the exact dates.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to put on your calendar. Any other questions?
I do, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, when I was on to now, has our ratepayers count gone up, stayed the same, neutral?
I'd say it went up because of Rutland residential.
Okay.
And, well, Palmer was a move, that was a lateral move.
500,
I'm sorry?
3,500, I think is how many meters we have now.
Okay,
3,500 to 3,550, something like that.
yeah, well, we had the Sam Easty project go in, independent audit.
Yeah, that was a couple 20 more meters. So yeah, that's one site. But there's 20 garages out there and then 1 unit, 1 meter for the 40 site office building. So
That's gone up.
Yep.
Growth is good.
Yep.
Tying in with that, just looking at some of the information they gave me and just doing some comparisons, which I always did in my own business. I think it's just healthy. I came across the large commercial account, and that went from in 22 to 1.794 million to 1.360. Is there something that to put your finger on that would have reduced?
We had to do rate. We did the intermediate power supply rate.
Okay, so that went down that much?
Well, that's what would have happened. When we did the rate study in 23, DGR's recommendation was to split up, because we have a small commercial, large commercial, and then we have the industrial. We took some stuff off the top.
So it's just reapplied?
Yeah, right. We now have 4 CNI rates, whereas before we had.
All right, good answer. So the same kind of thing with our operating expense, it went from 6.5 million to 6.95. Is that just, again, an item on one time expense, or is it?
SIPA did a 10% rate increase in 2020. So when you're looking at operating expenses, a big part of that is just power.
Okay. This might be a little early, but I'm seeing that there's a joint meeting on May 7th at 4:30. Do we know what that's about?
That has not been scheduled.
Okay. I just didn't know if we needed to do something to discuss our input on whatever there is in the.
We will need to discuss that next.
Thank you. That's it.
Anything I can help with that meeting scheduling?
The subject matter?
No, just facilitating anything between the two. Anything I can help with,
Not as.
just let me know.
I think it will be.
Yeah,
As long as we get there.
yeah.
I think you play a very important role here. And I'm glad to have you here.
Hey, yeah, just, Mr. Butcher and I had discussed if there's anything I have for updates to bring from the city.
Yeah,
All the way stuff. Yeah. Nothing new from me.
Yeah, I think that your value is quite high.
It's nice having you here. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Keep me. I'm just back and forth, saying.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good. Meeting adjourned.
Commissioners, we could